So when you go on Facebook and you're going to wish somebody a happy birthday, and down there pops up, if you got a birthday that's coming up, it says, it's got all these charities and stuff. It's asked, have people support these charities, in your, name of your birthday or whatever. And I could think of 1,000 different charities that I would like people to support. Semper Fi, Wounded Warriors, Autism Speaks, Special Olympics, Heroes Homestead, stuff like that. But what I want to challenge everybody to do is to give to your community. And what I mean by that is go out of your way to be kind to somebody in your community. And this should be a habit. This should be something that you do. It doesn't have to be every day, but something that you do frequently. And I'm not talking about holding the door open for somebody or just, greeting somebody, because that should be things that are daily habits that you do. But I'm talking about going out of your way, So like, for example, one of the things that I like to do, especially during the holidays, the guy that works at the post office, Franco, he's just a genuinely nice guy, professional and all that. And, holidays are really rough for people that work at the post office. There's not a lot of kind people. They lost packages and stuff, and they go take it out on them, and it's not their fault, right? So I went and stood in line for 10 minutes. I'm not mailing anything out. I just stood in line for 10 minutes with the rest of the customers just to get up, see Franco, and just say, hey, brother, I thank you and I appreciate everything that you do, right? And the smile on his face when I did that, it made me feel warm inside, or 2 weeks ago, when I was still back in my home gym, there's a lady, she works out there all the time, and she's in there when I get in there, and she's generally in there when I'm leaving. She's busting her ass, right? And so I walked up to her and I said, hey, she's like, oh, what's this big giant dude freaking coming up, kind of intimidating, coming up, probably going to correct me on my form or whatever, and I just, gave her a dap and said, hey, I notice you're in here busting your ass. You're working harder than anybody else, and it's going to pay off in the long run, and good job, and she was just like, oh shucks, thanks, and she was, you could see the elation on her face, and it just made me feel warm inside, so giving to the community is also giving to yourself as well, right? So, or like yesterday, you can see I'm staying in a hotel. I'm not at home right now. Everybody likes to throw their rank-ass food out in the hallway, right? Because no one wants to smell the room. They'd rather put it out so the whole community can smell it. So, I seen the guy, he's out there emptying the trash. So I walked down the hallway and said, hey, I appreciate what you do, man. I was like, you're taking out this trash. This hallway stinks, I was like, you're doing this day in and day out. You got to smell it. You're taking it out so I don't have to smell it. And I appreciate that, And he was genuinely happy, that somebody actually recognized him for what he was doing, so somebody at work, if one of your peers or whatever, you see them doing a good job, maybe they're not the greatest, but they're making improvements, go over there, tell them, hey, you're doing a good job. Tell them, you appreciate the work they're doing and why, or somebody at school, you see if you're in college or whatever and they do a presentation, and you walk up and be like, hey, I really liked your presentation. I got a lot out of it. You're doing a great job, something like that. Right. And it's given to your community, and it gives back to you as well. Right. So I challenge everybody to go out there, be kind to your community, try to do this at least once a week. Right. And you'll get a lot out of it. So, all right. So get out there and do it. Now let's fucking go.